Some aesthetics just speak to the soul. A faded postcard from Paris, a pressed flower from a summer you don't want to forget, a hand-drawn map of a fantasy kingdom that only exists in your imagination. Whatever world you're building, true memories or pure fiction, junk journals are a perfect place where these worlds come alive. Welcome, digital artists! In this video, we're diving into the world of junk journal aesthetics with 7 AI image generators: Midjourney, ChatGPT, NanoBanana, Ideogram, Leonardo's Lucid Origin, Flux, and Seedream to see which one is actually capable of. Because in junk journal, it's all about the mood, the texture, the feeling, and not every AI can deliver that. Junk journaling is one of the most creative and diverse niches in the digital products world. Let me show you what formats are actually in it: digital papers, ephemera, embellishments, various inserts and pockets, collage sheets, and many more. Most likely everything is vintage, aged, distressed, with a lot of small details and feminine elements. Whether you're creating full digital kits to sell on Etsy, building your own personal junk journal pages, or just exploring these beautiful aesthetics, this video is for you. In junk journaling, aesthetics isn't just important, it's everything. So we're dedicating the biggest part of this video to it, and I've prepared 15 prompts with 2 aspects in each: aesthetics and format, covering the most popular junk journal styles. Let's see what each AI can actually do. Starting with classic Victorian journal pages, Midjourney copes really well with this semi-realistic aesthetic, but it skipped some elements from the prompt, like the pocket watch. NanoBanana, Seedream, and Ideogram created images that are too sleek and almost vector-like. Also, you can see that all the AI tools struggled with the text, and if the text is very clearly visible, that's obviously the wrong direction for this aesthetic. Shabby chic is another popular style for junk journals. It's worth mentioning that properly naming the digital product type, aka format, is also crucial for good results, so pay attention to what we pick and how different AI generators respond to these words. For example, you can clearly see that NanoBanana places the design on a sheet with a distinct border, laying it on a background, unlike other AI tools that fill the entire image edge to edge. In the academia prompt, we described a lot of objects, which confused several AIs and caused them to skip some details. Aesthetically, all results are pleasing enough, except for Ideogram and Seedream, which once again produced images that are too sleek. I should also mention that I use either Leonardo's Lucid Origin or Lucid Realism, depending on what I like more for a particular example, but their overall aesthetic is very similar. The cottagecore seamless pattern combines 2 challenges: a detailed design plus seamlessness. Small details turned out to be a weak point only for Midjourney and Ideogram. As for seamlessness, in this example, only Lucid Origin and Ideogram failed to produce seamless designs. All other tools did well. By the way, if you're interested in how different AI generators handle patterns, we have a separate video on that, link in description. Parisian aesthetics are very trendy among junk journal lovers. I find all these illustrations charming in their own way. Maybe only Seedream's image doesn't quite feel like it belongs to junk journaling, but all the rest looks really great. With the botanical digital paper, we start to see that prompt wording really matters. For Midjourney, the term digital paper is essentially a command to create a selection of digital papers in one image, so avoid this term when using this AI. That said, I find its aesthetic the most pleasing, followed closely by NanoBanana's result. Flux created a very messy image that I didn't like. The Gothic background example shows that this is a very clear task for all AI tools. They all produced more or less similar compositions. Midjourney, Nana Banana and Lucid Origin are my favorites here, while Flux's image looks a bit too dark. The steampunk ephemera set is our next challenge. As you can see, Midjourney keeps struggling with details, though aesthetically it's probably still my favorite image. All other AI tools did a good job with details, except that Lucid, Seedream and Ideogram added text elements they couldn't spell properly. Overall, if you're working with ephemera, I'd recommend creating elements one by one, using the same style. You'll get much more consistent results. The travel poster is an interesting format beyond just junk journals. Midjourney's outcome looks nice, but it doesn't read like a poster to me. ChatGPT cropped the text at the top and bottom, though we can't entirely blame it, since posters are typically vertical, not square, and adjusting the aspect ratio would likely have solved this. As for text in general, the prompt didn't mention any, but apparently the poster format implies it to several AI tools. Many added text, but not all handled grammar and logic well. Washi tape strips in an nautical theme are next. I really love the color palette of the results and how the overall image looks. My favorites are Nana Banana, ChatGPT and possibly Lucid. At the same time, Midjourney and Ideogram struggled with details. Flux didn't create all the strips as separate elements, and Seedream added too much realism, though that might be fixable with some prompt adjustments. And unfortunately, not all AI tools can count to 6, since the task specifically asked for 6 strips. Moving on to the fantasy backgrounds, and I find these truly charming. My favorite here is Nana Banana, while Ideogram and Lucid once again produced vector-like images. Seedream created a nice illustration, but for some reason it doesn't feel suitable for junk journaling. The tools that added a watercolor paper texture did the best job of capturing the right aesthetic, in my opinion. 8 mythical tags come next. This prompt includes a lot of objects and elements, which is a real challenge for some AI generators. ChatGPT cropped the image, but the overall aesthetic looks great. I also like Nana Banana's result. From an artistic point of view, Flux did a decent job, though it got the quantity wrong, struggled with text, and the chords on the tags are unnecessary. If you're going to use these tags, you wouldn't want chords attached. Lucid and Ideogram are the outsiders here, for my taste. Seedream, on the other hand, performed really well. The boho pattern once again challenges AI tools for seamlessness. Here, only Midjourney and Seedream delivered, which is actually a classic result for seamless patterns. In terms of aesthetics, I like Midjourney, Nana Banana and ChatGPT. Seedream is a little bit less interesting. Flux strongly lacks contrast and the composition feels messy. Lucid struggles with details, and Ideogram's composition is too chaotic. 6 wedding journaling cards are a very simple and classic format. All the AI tools did a decent job. Maybe the only thing I'd note is that ChatGPT made the cards almost identical to each other, and Lucid struggled both with the count and the aspect ratio of the cards. As with the ephemera, I'd suggest creating cards one by one for more polished and varied results. The final prompt is devoted to the Asian theme. Wabi-sabi is very much in demand right now. I really love the Midjourney and Flux aesthetics here, and honestly, all the AI tools did a good job. Maybe I like Ideogram and Seedream a bit less. Seedream's image feels a little unclear, and Ideogram is too flat without enough texture for this style. There are a few technical things worth knowing before you start creating junk journal content with AI. We'll cover aspect ratio. The ideal one for journal pages is 17 by 22. Editing possibilities, perfect shaping, and speed of creation. Let's go! Midjourney gives you the most flexibility with aspect ratios. You can set any aspect ratio you need, either through the settings menu or directly in the prompt using the AR parameter, so 17 by 22 is not a problem at all. ChatGPT and NanoBanana are less transparent about their aspect ratio options. You can write your desired ratio in the prompt and it may work to some degree, but there is no clear list of what's supported. Here in Canva, we can compare the outcomes to a 17 by 22 rectangle and see that Midjourney's image almost perfectly fits, NanoBanana's as well, while ChatGPT's result is clearly not suitable. However, if you access these models through aggregator platforms like Leonardo or Kittle, you'll find more precise aspect ratio controls available there, and you'll notice that ChatGPT is the most limited one. Ideogram has a wide built-in aspect ratio controls on its own website, including fully custom ratios, so 17 by 22 is probably achievable. Unfortunately, that custom aspect ratios are only available on a paid plan. For all remaining tools, Flux, Lucid Models, and Seedream, we usually use them through aggregators like Leonardo or Kittle, which offer precise aspect ratio controls. Just keep in mind that unusual custom ratios like 17 by 22 may not be available even there. As for editing, meaning changing some details of your existing image, Midjourney isn't really suitable for this task for now. All other tools, however, handle editing quite well. You can upload a base image, describe what you'd like to change directly in the prompt, and this works on aggregators too. But honestly, for junk journal content, the bigger challenge isn't swapping a rose for a tulip or brightening a background. It's creating multiple designs that all share the same complex shape, and that's something no amount of prompting can solve on its own. Let me show you how to use Canva or any editing tool with customizable placeholders for designs in precise shapes, starting with the simplest case. Images in 17 by 22 proportions. Go to Elements, pick Frames, add a square one, then in the Position tab, change its dimensions to 1700 by 2200. Lock the ratio, and adjusting either dimension will automatically update the other. Now just insert your designs inside. Ideally, your AI-generated image is something close to 17 by 22 from the start, like 2 by 3 or 3 by 4. But if not, you can easily reposition the design within the frame. Double-click on the image to start repositioning. This method not only ensures the correct proportions, but also guarantees a usable image size, so you won't end up with something that's technically 17 by 22, but super tiny like 170 by 220 pixels. Browse through the frames further to find what fits your project best. The paper section in particular has some great options. Or you can create your own frame, and there are many ways to do it. Let me show you one of them. Go to Graphics and pick something you like. I've already experimented with tags, so I'll go with one of those. For example, I like this one. Let me enlarge it slightly. Now download it as a PNG with a transparent background. Note that this requires a Canva Pro plan. Then go to photopea.com, a free Photoshop alternative, and drag your PNG in. In the Layers tab, right-click your layer and select Pixels. Select Pixels. Oh, alright, let it be. In the Paths tab, create a path from your selection by clicking this icon at the bottom. Next, go to the Layers menu, select Vector Mask, then Current Path. Finally, export your image as a PDF. Upload this PDF to Canva and notice it will appear in the Designs section, not in the Images section like most uploads. Drag it onto your workspace, right-click and select Detach Image. And there's your frame. Now just insert your AI-generated design inside it. The shape will be identical every single time. No relying on AI to get it right. And trust me, no AI tool is capable of producing multiple designs in a consistently precise, complex shape like this one. Speed of creation is also worth a quick mention. If you are doing a mass production, building full kits with many variations, Midjourney, Seedream, Ideogram, and Lucid are your best friends as they generate images almost instantly. ChatGPT, Nano Banana, and Flux are slower, but for occasional use or smaller batches, it's nothing that should put you off. Time to bring it all together! After testing all 7 tools across so many different junk journal styles and formats, I have some clear personal impressions. Tools I kept coming back to, and tools that just don't feel right for this particular aesthetics. Let's go through them. Here's a quick overview of all 7 AI tools side by side. Aesthetics, technical aspects, pricing, and free trial availability all in one place. Looking at this table, my personal favorites for junk journaling are Midjourney and Nano Banana. Both handle the semi-realistic, texture, moody aesthetic that this niche really calls for. On the other end, Ideogram, Lucid, and Seedream were the least convincing for me, not because they're bad tools in general, but because artistically they just don't sit well with the junk journal feeling. That said, as always, try things yourself because your tastes may differ from mine. And if you'd rather skip the trial and error of prompt writing altogether, we have a junk journal prompt builder that does the heavy lifting for you. All the terms inside have been manually tested by us, so you can be sure they actually work with AI. Just pick from the pre-filled drop-downs, watch your prompts come together in real time, copy-paste into your tool of choice. Simple as that. And that's a wrap on our junk journal AI guide. I hope this helps you find the tool that matches your creative vision, or at least gives you a great starting point to experiment. By the way, check the description box below, you'll find many useful links there, including what AI tools are best for clip art and patterns, with all the nuances. If you enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe would mean a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.